These NDP Liberals are causing a softwood lumber shutdown in British Columbia. Hey everybody, it's Member of Parliament Bob Zimmer standing in front of W&M Enterprises, a logging contractor business owned by Wayne and Marie Harder in Fort St. John. They used to employ 120 people, from heavy-duty mechanics to logging truck drivers to heavy-duty equipment operators and even summer students. Their business has been absolutely devastated by the radical NDP Liberals in Ottawa. What used to be a full yard of logging trucks and logging equipment is now almost completely empty. After 9 years and 3 U.S. presidents, we still don't have a softwood lumber agreement. When we were in government, we had an agreement signed within 80 days. We've lost 24 mills since 2016, and it hasn't stopped. I had the chance to interview Wayne and Marie and other logging contractors who employ many people in forestry in BC, but also the people that work for them. And I want you to see how devastating it's been for their businesses, but most of all, how devastating it's been for their families. Check it out.
Marie with W&M Enterprises. Wayne are not multi-generation. We built it from the ground up 32 years ago. That's all we've done since we've been married. We've seen this major downturn when we talked about it in the last 8 years. Kind of dropped 25%. Now we dropped another 90 beyond that. Of what's left means that we're not hiring nearly the people.
I'm not sure where to go with stuff. Right? I'm not sure where to look for the next morsel of bread, so to speak.
J. Logging, third generation logger from this area. Forestry through and through, that was our goal from the time we were knee-high to a grasshopper. Now we kind of, the crossroads.
Beaver from J. Logging. Don't know where we're going from here. Now we're scrambling just to find work where, like you said before, there's tons of fiber that has to go or it's going to burn.
Shane Waldy, High School Enterprises, third generation. Grandfather was in sawmills. My father was in sawmills and logging. And then I've been in logging since. There's no future right now.
My name is Claire Wilson, and I am the health, safety, environmental manager / HR person for High Sky, but I grew up a camper kid. I see it not just in Chetwynd, but in Prince George. And all, my friends grew up, and it was a pride, a badge of honor to, your family worked in the forest industry. At the end of a lifelong career in forestry, and there's no transition for them, right? There's nowhere for them to go, and it's heartbreaking. And what is this part of Canada going to look like in 5 years, 10, 20 years?
Joe Bergen, hot saw logging. So I guess if we're on the generational thing, this is our second generation loggers. My dad was a logger in the area as well. We've been in the industry for 30 years. We employed about 50 people. That's 50 families that were fed directly, plus all the indirect jobs. A lot of those families had farms. Some of them were hobby farms, some were actually fairly big farms, and they used us to subsidize their income. And that's all gone.
Paul Bergen, hot saw logging, second generation logger. If we sell the farm, or basically the equipment, I should say, what happens from there, right? There's no future, no security, because we have no idea what's going to happen next, right?
I'm Diedrich Fair with D-Fair Contracting. I don't know where to go from here.
In terms of families, how many people have you employed at your peak, and how has that impacted those families?
So very significantly, I think at peak we were right in that 110, 120 range. For farmers, and they subsidized the farming from off-farm income. I had a few guys come up to me and said they weren't sure how they're going to survive. They didn't know how they're going to make their payments because they're so reliant on that income.
So we would probably be about 40 to 45 at our peak, and we're probably about 15 now.
30, 40, probably 50 with subs at peak, and from those down to 20 with subs right now. Scrambling, we've had the conversations, we've let people go, had conversations, will there be work? No, we don't know.
High Sky Group companies employs typically at peak season 250 to 300 employees. Last year we were probably 60 forestry workers. Right now we're sitting at 18 trucks still hauling, a couple ordermen.
So at the end of the month, on the harvesting side, Zero.
100 plus, and we had 60 to 75, you know, at peak in the winter. It always sloughs a bit in the summer, of direct employees, and then 30 to 40 trucks, just the subcontract trucks. And it feeds a lot of families. We've gone from 22 trucks down to 4.
So peak, we probably had, you know, we've been close to 60 people altogether. You know, with 30, 35 direct employees, and then 20 to 30 logging trucks we've employed. Right now, we're down to about 20 direct employees, really working hard to keep the people that we have. But I don't know if that'll work or not.
60 employees, and we're down to 30 in total with subcontractors and everybody, 25, 30, and the future is very uncertain.
Peak operations probably 35 subcontractors, and direct employees probably 15 to 20. We've got 2 trucks left that are hauling here, and I'm driving one of them, so I got no operators except one loader operator right now, but that's going to come to a screeching halt here right away, and we're actually parked.
So as of January 1st, you're down to 0.
Oh yeah.
Needless to say, the Christmases around the table here are going to be pretty negatively affected by what's just happened, or it's happening.
Not only at employees' families, but the contractor himself. You know, it's
That's right.
sitting at the table with his wife.
Well, you have your own families too, right?
Exactly.
You're not,
what are we doing?
Yeah.
She'll ask, what are we doing? I said, I don't know.
What's the impact to you and your family with these kids? Start with Wayne.
Well, it's pretty stressful because you gotta face all these people and tell them, I got nothing for you. I don't have a tomorrow for you. And so that in itself is pretty stressful. And most of these people are people you know, it's community stuff. So
We're a family-run business, so my wife works in the business too. So if there's no business, we have nothing. So career change at our age is not easy. So that part of it's stressful. And the other part that's stressful is kind of what Wayne was saying. Like, we're 3rd generation. We have some 4th generation people in the business that we kind of thought might take the business over in the future.
Yeah.
And now we have to go tell them that, or they can probably already see that there might not be any.
Extremely stressful around the supper table, even at home. Kids coming home from school, they hear it through other people. Like, are we moving? Because there's nothing left in Fort St. John. What do you tell them? I have my own sons in the industry. So where do they go from here?
I look at my wife, I watch her some days at the dinner table crying. Because, you know, we have employees that have been with us 20 to 30 years. And, you know, we gotta tell these families, you know, we don't have any work and there's no guarantee. It's scary, you know. I just look at the businesses in our community and thinking, you know, like tire shops and just the dealers for equipment parts, or not so much equipment parts, but just the day-to-day things. It's a lot of families.
Yeah, it impacts our family, because I would say that I'm the social or the emotional support to the family, and you come home and I've had to be present for our workers and I don't have anything left. And so usually the upbeat, happy person is tapped out. Can we keep people's benefits going so that we can get them through Christmas, that they have time,
Right.
the workers have time to go get braces on their kids and glasses and medical appointments. Our older guys can go, you know, get a final checkup, you know, and maybe some serious health issues addressed. What about all the kids I have on apprenticeships? And I'm telling them, try to find work somewhere else.
I mean, we talked a lot about work always because we're partners in the business and that's what we do. But this is a totally different level of stressful conversation, and it's hard.
It's been very, very stressful. I'm amazed at my range of emotions some days. You'll be at the shop and, you know, be a little tough, but it'll work. And then you come home and you're drained and you'll snap at your wife or kids.
For me, it's obviously stressful. You talk to your neighbors, so what do? We live in a natural resource sector area, and there's no more natural resources.
Impacts to your family.
Family, huge. All my kids work in the sector, right?
Crespitudes, our home, we lived there forever for the last, I'm 51 and that's how long I've lived there, and that's all I've done since I got old enough to work. Got my kids involved in everything. We have 7 kids, and every time they come home for dinner, says, Dad, any good news? What are we doing? Yeah, I don't know for sure. But we must all not forget either. You know, we have to still be thankful for the things we have. We still have food. We still have clothes. Can't forget that.
Well said.